That's tag shit.
Free fall as I die through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama, I don't really want.
Welcome to another installment of Tag Me In, where the triple threat brain trusts to tag over the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of professional wrestling. I, of course, am the unofficially official Lip Dizzle, joined with none other than the less than stealthy unicorn himself, Ray Scoot So.
Cause them other ones out there are twos, and we the ones. You can see the shadow, because we the one.
Yo, so we going for the longest reigning tag team twins in the world.
I mean, let's do it. Let's do it.
Ladies, do not be shunned. Do not feel like you are neglected. The heartthrob of the IWC is off doing some heartthrob shit at the moment. So he will probably be here either sometime during the weekend if we do something then, or sometime next week, depending on what's going on. It's going to be a busy couple of weeks. And that it has been for us across the board. So
yes, it has.
And we are working, we working on something for y'all.
I mean, if y'all didn't see that beautiful new intro, I mean, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, was joined by fellow AEW superstar Hangman Adam Page. So,
absolutely.
That just lets you know what I'm saying? We trying to do things around here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hangman. We met him this past Saturday at Houston Coming Palooza.
Mm-hmm.
That man was as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Which is crazy because I'm still on the fence on who was cooler between him and Dr. Baker, because
they were both to keep the puns going. They were both pretty breezy, you know.
Yeah. And but Hangman was cool as fucking shit.
Yes.
Which, by the way, hopefully you finished Pokemon
Arceus.
Legend Arceus.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I don't know if you did, but I know that he did mention to us that he was playing it. So I finished it, but still, that's neither here nor there. Cool guy, just like Scoot said.
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah. But we definitely thank him. We definitely thank him. And it's crazy because even when he did the shout out for us, y'all had to be there. Y'all had to be there to experience it. Which, as I was editing it, because I heard myself after I took, I cut the shit and I took whatever I was talking about out. But at the end of it, Scoot, you can actually hear you. In the background.
You say, like, God damn,
because it was your signature. God damn it, when it happened.
Shit was. Whew.
So again, just like Scoot said, Hangman, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Adam Cole was supposed to be there. Unfortunately, because of I forgot. I know he has the concussion, but there's also another injury. I don't know if it's a torn labrum or something, but he's suffering from something else as well. And I think that's one of the reasons why he could not make it. But hopefully, not hopefully, it's eventually going to happen. We're going to get around to talking to him and get a chance maybe to pick his brain at the chance. Now, I'm hoping that because All Out is closely coming upon us, and if our schedules permit it, we might be able to hit up Chicago, because I'm I'm above like 60% of confirming me going. So
look,
we may
at this
see.
point, like WWE likes to say, cars subject to change, and depending on how much I really
Yeah.
talk, I make it happen, Captain. We can make it happen.
And speaking of WWE, you know what, Scoot? Before we even jump into, because we already know what everybody's here for in terms
Yes.
of what the fuck's been going on today, but I'm pretty sure that there's some fuck it you got to get out of your system.
You know what? I said them yesterday. I said
Oh,
fuck
did
it.
you?
Yeah. I recorded 3 of them yesterday. I said it about 7-star FTR, and I went on record by saying I think they're my favorite tag team of all time. Just throwing it out there. I said another fuck it about why wrestlers got to bring up deceased family members to get heel heat.
Oh, what we
Unnecessary.
talked about last weekend. Yeah.
Unnecessary. I also said that I also brought up another fuck it about Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, which I talked to you about. Each of them shows having missing ingredients, which per this conversation today, maybe those missing ingredients might start to shift and make sense. But
Well, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Did you ever, because after that conversation we had, did you ever figure out what each of them could have been missing?
So to be honest with you, with the news about Triple H, maybe NXT might be missing him. Maybe because I even said with Raw, maybe Raw's thing, because maybe it could just be 2 hours. Because with them having 3, a lot of fluff goes into Raw.
Yeah.
Like I even brought up an example. They had a 6-woman tag match on Raw. It was Asuka, Alexa, and insert third woman, I'm sorry, versus Doudrop, Nikki ASH, and it was Dana Brooke with Asuka and Alexa Bliss, and it was Tamina, Nikki ASH, and Doudrop. Mid-match, the 24/7 title shenanigans started happening. And when I mean it happened, I mean Reggie tried to come out there, which caused Tozawa. I think if I remember how it went, I think Tozawa rolled up Dana, got the belt. I think Tozawa tried to run in the ring, and somebody rolled him up. I think Alexa Bliss rolled up that person. She got it. Somebody rolled up Bliss. Somebody rolled up. Eventually, Dana Brooke got the belt back. She runs off. But then the tag team match was still happening. Then Bliss and Asuka gets the W for their team. And it was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what is happening? Be right back.
So, and I know we're gonna get into it, but my thing is this: with the shenanigans of the 24/7 championship, I know this isn't a Triple H or Stephanie McMahon thing, and I know we're gonna talk about this later on in the show. But I hope this is one of the few things that gets eliminated, because again, a lot of these people that's in this situation, it's like they get relegated to this whole ordeal here, and they get the whole catering stigma where you don't see anything past the stupid shenanigans or like the holiday specials or episodes that they have where you just
kind of in that vein. That was like one of my issues I had with SmackDown. With the show hindering upon the bloodline, there's no more superstars. We need more superstars on SmackDown because Roman is showing up once or twice a month. I mean, the Usos are holding it down weekly, but you're gonna need some more star power if the man Rome isn't there weekly.
Yeah.
So they need more store power there.
Okay, so then let me ask this with everything that's going on now, especially with all the changes that could be completely imminent. Do you think that that the brand split is necessary right now, or do you think the elimination of it would be way better?
So the way I'm looking at it now, if the brand split was to go away, then they're going to have to go back to kind of the old days. Yeah, they have main event, but they're going to need more sub shows because if all we're going to constantly see is the Usos on both shows, maybe The Miz, maybe Roman, maybe Seth Rollins, maybe the New Day sprinkled here and there, maybe Drew McIntyre. There's going to be some mad people left behind.
Yeah.
Now, maybe in Raw's case, or they can do it kind of like how they did it back in the day. Maybe SmackDown can quote unquote have all the superstars. I'm sorry, Raw could have all the superstars, and maybe SmackDown can kind of be what NXT graduates to.
Yeah.
And then SmackDown kind of puts you on that cusp of, are you ready for the big time type of situation? So that's the only way I can see that working is if Raw becomes the truly premier show, NXT becomes SmackDown becomes we still got some great solid talent here, but they're holding it down.
Yeah.
But then I don't think Fox gonna like that very much. So that may be a reason why that doesn't happen. Fox might be a little peeved if they make that decision.
Okay. So now, because now we're going into a different territory in terms of AEW, in which this is probably going to segue into what we really are going to end up talking about later on. But with the roster that WWE has now, excluding NXT, do they honestly benefit from having 2 world championships?
In my honest opinion, it only gives that gravitas to it. But the problem is, if you would have asked me this a few months ago, I would say yes. Asking me it now, because if they decide to split the belts again, then it's kind of like, well, one man had the belts on stranglehold for months. So it's like, does having 2 titles matter now? Same thing with the Usos. Usos have had the stranglehold now for a good solid 2 months. So it's like, does it benefit? Actually, that actually benefits because there ain't that many tag teams. So that actually benefits. As far as world title contenders, WWE can benefit in an AEW's case. Like, for instance, we knew Takeshita wasn't going to beat Moxley, but it was good to see Takeshita fight Moxley, even if it was for championship opportunity. At least in that case, at least if it's 2 champions, or if they keep it as 1, we can see, insert Madcap Moss. Madcap Moss is getting a shot. Oh shit, he put up a kind of like that time when I don't know if you saw it, but that one time when Montez went against Roman Reigns. And it was like, okay, now we saw that Montez can really go. It's kind of like that. That would be the only way it could work out with 2 champions, if it's like, oh shit, R-Truth stumbles upon fighting Roman Reigns, and then you be like, wait a minute, shit, we kind of forgot that Truth can really go. Even though we know he's not going to get a true title shot, but shit, Truth can go. So WWE does that already with their championship contender matches, but that would be the only way it truly benefits.
And see, right, you touched on something that may have answered another question that I probably would have had. with the issue and the differences between AEW building new stars and WWE building new stars, because when you bring up Takesha, the difference between seeing somebody on WWE and somebody in AEW, especially in terms of Takesha, we know when he went up against Hangman, when he went up against Moxley, these matches, like most of the time, we know he's going to lose, but nobody ever talks about that. They just talk about how good he is in the ring, and it's like, this dude's up next. Same thing with Wardlow. The way that they build certain guys up, we can see is like, okay, you know what, this guy's next up, or this guy's going to come down the line, and WWE seems to have lost that luster when the way that they used to build stars, because you can take the same aspect of like when Triple H went up against Shelton Benjamin and on Monday Night Raw, and they had that match where he came really close. He still lost, but he was built up in a way just like, okay, this guy could be next up. Now they faltered along the way, but between that time and where they faltered, he had a fantastic Intercontinental Championship run, U.S. Championship run. Not so much on the ECW Championship, but he was a premier mid-card special ladder match type guy, to where it's like that's who they looked for, and he was basically a highlight reel. And so my thing with this, given what we're going to talk about, I would hope that this is a direction that they're going to end up taking with building new stars, the way that Triple H built stars in NXT to get them prepped and prepared for the main roster.
Well, and see, that's also one of the big differences. And we hate comparing, but that's one of the big differences. AEW does better than WWE. Ali made his return. He had that little 1 month feud with Miz. Now Ali's back on Main Event.
I think he made a joke about that on Twitter.
Yeah, he did. Like, he hasn't been on Raw since he had his little feud with Theory and Miz and Ciampa. He's going now. He's back on Main Event.
Yeah, that's
the issue. WWE under the previous regime let you know who was next up. I mean, everybody was so pissed Theory won Money in the Bank. Did you not see the way that they were shoving Theory down in our faces?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like Theory was just some dude who just came up, boom, he started winning. They essentially let you know he was on TV every week with Vince. He won the US title. He had that moment at WrestleMania with Stone Cold, Pat McAfee and all of that. It was pretty known Theory's the next up.
Yeah.
He
shouldn't have lost the US Championship, and he shouldn't have won Money in the Bank. Because what they're doing, what they were potentially doing, because it could change now, but what they're potentially doing is what they did with Roman Reigns. They started off really good with Theory, but now it's coming to the whole but it's the opposite now, because whereas Roman was a face that they refused to turn heel, you have a heel who you're going to get the wrong type of heat with, where he actually had fantastic heat. Nobody was griping about him, but the moment that he won that briefcase,
all
bets are off.
Oh boy.
So, and I know at this point, especially with the information with Vince or the news with Vince that came out, Triple H has dealt with Theory before, so I know that he is a priority at this point. So I know Theory's going to be in good hands. My hope is that he's not the only one that's going to be in good hands, because Bruce Pritchard is still going to be there. So, but let's go ahead and unless you got something else, Scoot, we can just your thoughts on this Vince McMahon retiring situation.
So, I'm the type of person I am. So when I first heard it, the first thing I said to Ashley, what deep, dark secret of Vince is about to come out? I was like, something juicy was about to come out with Vinnie Mac. because that was so out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it was like, I mean, it's a random Friday. Next thing you know, he just pops on Twitter. Hey, yo, I'm 77. It's time for me to retire. I'm out. Excuse me? Come again? Like, there was no warning. There was no lead up to this. There was no hush whispers. Nothing. It was just, hey, yo, I'm 77. It's time to retire. Then, now, and forever. I'm out. Okay. So that's my thing. It was like, what deep dark secret is about to come out that he don't want the company to suffer some blowback?
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it has to be in situations where it's bad enough to where you got the board probably convinced him to say, you know what, just go ahead and just drop it, leave it on you. We can save face if we just move you to the side. But that and don't get me wrong, I was extremely happy about this, not for somebody losing their job or retiring, but for the fact that it's like cutting off a limb.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you cut off a limb to save the body. WWE was heading in a certain direction where they could have affected the rest of the professional wrestling community. Now,
Yeah.
AEW has already had its own issues with the injuries and everything, but AEW is slowly fixing their own issues where they would have end up being the premier promotion. Now, of course, some may say AEW is the premier promotion right now, but WWE by and large is the biggest professional wrestling community.
WWE, regardless, like, AEW might have the fan population, the fan popularity, but WWE is like, yeah.
Yeah. Anytime you talk to a casual fan and you say anything about an AEW, they're not going to say AEW. They're going to say, oh, you talking about the WWE stuff, or anybody that either hasn't watched wrestling in a long time. Anything you say regarding professional wrestling, they're going to say, oh, the WWE stuff, or or some may even say the WWF stuff. Either way, it's professional wrestling in itself. WWE is synonymous with everything wrestling related. So until AEW, New Japan, Impact, AAA, so on and so forth gets to that level, there's nobody that's going to overtake the popularity that WWE has. But with that being said, Vince was, at no pun intended, you know, with the whole NWO promo that he did when they debuted in WWE, where he said he had to inject venom into his own company. Vince wasn't inherently his own venom into his company because he was slowly killing it with bad creative. And that was a problem because it was more of the same. And
hey, you know what? Just a quick little sidebar. So, you know, Chicago got that C2E2 event. Man, just listen to the names of the professional wrestlers that was going to be there. We got Trish. We got Undertaker. We got Mercedes, formerly Sasha
I know
Banks.
she was going to be there for sure.
You got CM Punk, Danhausen, Mick Foley, and Lita. I know we could have got at least about 2 of those, maybe 3.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure we probably could have got Danhausen, Mick Foley, and somebody else, but my bad. You can go back to your point.
No. You good. You know, I'm just wait. Is that's this weekend?
It's the weekend after next. It's in 2 weeks. It's August 5th through the 7th.
Oh, see, and I'll be in Indianapolis, man.
Yeah,
crazy. But yeah, and Mercedes, yes, eventually we will cross paths. Tag that shit right there. But But with this news, I mean, there is a lot of skepticism on my part because I still don't know. I mean, I know there's going to be change,
Yes.
but the real question is how much change, because we still have people that's involved. Kevin Dunn,
Mm-hmm.
he's still there. I don't he may leave, but I mean that's a secure job that he has. But
Yeah.
he's still there. Bruce Pritchard is still there, and that's the person who's running basically all the fucking shows. So
Laurinaitis at the same, it's still technically there. He's just,
technically,
on temp leave, but he's still there.
yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
And
It's
then
it's
according to the
it's
reports, he's retiring, like from everything.
yeah.
He's retiring from creative, all of that. So we shall see. But I always looked at it as too, like in a Vince McMahon case, he could still be pulling the strings from home.
This is true. This is
Like
true.
he could still, hey, make sure y'all do this, do that tonight. You know, like let's be honest.
Here's where I'm okay with that because I thought about that too.
Mm-hmm.
But we have now because at first it was Stephanie being acting CEO.
Sure.
Now it's co CEO with
Mm-hmm.
Nick Khan, which that part as well, which I used to be worried about Nick Khan, but there's a part of me that's like, I don't even think he wants to deal with the bullshit. I think he just really wants to find a way to make the most money. Um, I think Steph actually cares about, the evolution of women's wrestling
Yes.
and her along with Paul Levesque, Triple H for those who don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll be the ones to re-usher that in to the point to where they can take women's wrestling and WWE serious again. Because especially with all the work that they did to kill that stigma that it used to have, you
Yes.
know. And of course I could be wrong. Nick Khan could probably be the bane to WWE's existence, but as of right now, there's something in my gut just tells me it's like, nah, it's not that big of a deal on his end.
I'm
But
telling
I
you,
think if
Nick
Vince,
Khan is secretly plotting.
he
He's
could
plotting.
be, he could be trying to sell off this company like crazy. But I think
Mm-hmm.
if this is the case, I think Steph and Trips are going to try to save it the best way they can. And I think
Oh,
if Vince does
absolutely.
try to get if Vince if Vince tries to get involved and tries to do it, I'm pretty sure that the board of directors will just kind of just say, "Hey, stay in your lane. You're not here. You retired. Move along."
It's like pump your
Um,
brakes there, pal.
but yeah, I think it's a blessing in disguise. I don't, I think Vince should go and live out his life. He's an old man, let him
Yeah.
just kind of just retire in peace, have his fun. He can go and secretly sleep with all the interns and paralegals that he wants to sleep with without any issues. And people can't say nothing about it. He's not in the public, he's not in a publicly traded company no more. That's the case. He can go
That
have
is
his
true.
fun. He can Bill
That is
Clinton this
true.
shit. So uh but yeah, I mean, all jokes aside, I mean, I think this is a blessing for WWE, and I think this should push them in the right direction. Now, the one thing that I am worried about, Bruce Pritchard,
He is a wild card.
because between him and Kevin Dunn, that's still Vince McMahon's yes men. So they may,
Mm-hmm.
because they're still within the company, they can still kind of drive certain things. So yeah, but I think they may end up pulling a beast move and say, "Fuck it, if Vince is gone, then I'm gone."
I
So
think I think what will happen is, which we'll talk about that beast move. I think
eh,
what will happen is that it won't be a we're gonna just clear the house out. You know how we hear from like NBA and NFL, the new head coach that came in and just fired everybody. I don't think it's gonna be nothing like that. I think what's gonna happen is that it's gonna start to be a clash of styles. I think that's what's gonna start to happen. Because with Trips and Steph, and I guess you can even say Nick, them being more modern and now, while you have Pritchard and Dunn and Laurinaitis, actually it's a 3-on-3. You have them being representing that old guard, that old school way. And what's going to happen is that it's going to be a lot of potentially this, where we might start seeing it kind of like a little bit in AEW when Cody would have his matches and his segments, how they felt so differently that everything else.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be situations like that. And probably what's going to happen is I can just see Dunn, Pritchard, and I can see Dunn probably like, you know what? I can get with the program. I didn't had this job for so long now, unless he's just ready to retire from it all. But I can definitely see Pritchard and Laurinaitis being like, you know what? This ain't how your dad did things. Well, we ain't my dad. So, you know, peace out.
Exactly.
So, I can definitely see that.
They could potentially make me like Charlotte again.
It's a possibility.
Because I had no problem with NXT Charlotte and debut and main roster debut Charlotte. No problems at all. But after that, it just. But we'll fucking see.
Yeah.
I just have. I'm hoping that things will be fine. Which one did you want to cover, Scoot? You want to cover Trips being back? You want to cover that beast move?
You know, let's go ahead and get Trips being back since we kind of. So, you know, before the Vince news, it was reported that, you know, Trips is back. You know, Trips, you know, he's healthy enough to resume his duties. And there was reports earlier this week that he went to NXT and told them he was back as well. So, and quick sidebar, I don't know if you watched the NXT Tuesday, but
I seen some clips.
What they did to the Grizzled Young Veterans is
that's one of the clips that I saw, and I don't know why you would look, man. As a beard aficionado myself, man, I don't know why you would just clean shaven these mans. I mean, I don't just like why. And then of course the name change. I forgot the stupid ass names that they changed them to, but
a schism.
Oh, is that what that's a tag team name that they have? Schism?
Yeah, actually, it was originally the Dyad. Then the next week it changed to the Schism, and it was like, okay.
I'm okay with the tag name. I mean, granted, GYV is there's nothing that's gonna top that. But
no.
Schism is still not a bad name. But their names their individual names that they changed. No, unless they kept. Did they keep them or did they actually just pull the trigger on changing those names?
I don't know. I didn't hear what their new names might have been because you know we were recording. Shout out to the Ninjas. We was recording our Comic Palooza recap. Go check that out. Cheap plug. Go check that out on YouTube, Spotify, all that good stuff. Comic Palooza 2022. Shout out to Ronnie and Boss. But I didn't get a chance to hear if they changed their names from Gibson and Drake. I just know that he was calling them the Schism, which was like, okay. So I don't know if they changed their names, but I guess next week we'll see. But that happened. You know, they did the whole 20-woman battle royal to determine Mandy's new contender. Zoe Stark won that. So
she's back. Okay.
Yeah, she's back. For the past 3 weeks, they keep having these QR codes that was popping up on screen, and it was like these little puzzles. And the puzzle ended up being, if you put it together, it let you know that it was her returning.
That's all right.
Cora Jade explained her actions, basically saying, you know, I bought Roxanne in here, I'm worrying about me. And she did the famous Medusa thing by throwing the tag title in the trash. So I don't know if the tag titles are vacant or they're not gonna do it anymore. I don't know, but that happened. What else? Roddy Strong beef with oh shit, he showed up.
Who, Brock?
Yeah, son of a bitch, he showed up. But Roddy Strong, he had a match with Damon Kemp, and then it's showing now that the D'Angelo family is now going to beef with. Wait, was it D'Angelo family? Yes, I think the D'Angelo family is going to beef with Diamond Mine.
Okay.
But I'm sure perfectly the Creed brothers to get the tag team titles off of them. I don't know how they're going to do it, but yeah. Who else? Carmelo and Trick did the barbershop thing. Cameron Grimes is still kind of figuring out Cameron Grimes.
Save him, Trips.
Yes. Braun Breaker. Who is his next challenge? He wrestled somebody. Did he wrestle? I'm trying to remember. He did do a segment. Oh, what's his name? JD Madonna, or formerly Jordan Devlin.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Likely that's going to be his next challenger.
Wow, that fast, huh? So
that's after he beat Cameron Grimes, JD attacked him.
Oh, I did not see that. Okay.
Yeah, after their title match, he did a beatdown on him, so it makes sense. Okay. What else? Briggs and Jensen retain their UK tag titles against Pretty Deadly.
Still a stupid move to put them on, but
yeah. Right? It is even so random how it happened.
It is, because yeah.
Like
Trips
the current
fixed that shit too.
Vacated, then all of a sudden they did a tag team battle royal, and Briggs and Jensen just happened to be in the UK. Axiom debuted, formerly A-Kid. You know, he's in a superhero gimmick. And
WWE, they got him wearing a mask now.
Yeah, and WWE is being called out because they apparently stole two people's gimmick. There's another wrestler which the outfit looks pretty spot on.
Huh.
And I forgot what was the other thing that they was being accused of, but yeah, Axiom debuted. And that's pretty much with NXT. So once again, with the name, with the subject, Triple H is back on the job. And hopefully with that, I'm not saying these ideas are necessarily bad, but these ideas have that WWE feel where we're throwing darts at a board and seeing what's sticking. Okay, and that's the problem.
Do you think that with him saying, especially with that whole rumored meeting that he had with everybody saying that he's back, do you think that he's back, or do you think this is just, you know, everybody trying to save face for the current state of NXT 2.0 and then just, you know?
So NXT 2.0 can still work. It can still work. The problem is they need grounding. It's too many things happening and nobody's grounding everything. It's like, hey, we're going to introduce this dude named Axiom who's a superhero, or Axiom who's a superhero. Wait, what? Huh? Where did this come from, and why did
carry
this
on,
come
Scoot?
From? Yeah, you know, hey, Cora Jade out the blue just betrayed her partner. Like they didn't sow the seeds of dissension. It was just boom, betray your partner. You know, Legato joining the D'Angelo family, and so-called he seems like he has Legato fully in, but apparently he beat up Santos. And it's like, it's just so many ideas being thrown out. And it's like, where is the true storytelling with all of this? You know what? To just put it in perspective to the people out there, it's Thor Love and Thunder. It was just fast tracked everything. It was like 10 minutes in the movie. Gore became the God Butcher. He's just murdering people, and then boom, he's fighting Thor. It's like boom, Jane had cancer. 5 minutes later, she has Mjolnir. It was like, wait, we are missing something here. And spoilers, if y'all hadn't seen Thor: Love and Thunder, but
it's okay, you're not missing too much if
you can wait till it comes on Disney Plus. Trust me.
Basically,
but it's just ideas being thrown out there, and there's no grounding of everything. And once it can get grounded and tell some concise story, because like before, like now, why is Roddy being so tough on Diamond Mine? You know, out the blue. It wasn't like, you know, with them losing Bivens, them losing Hachiman. It wasn't like they went on this horrendous losing streak and then Roddy was like, all right, we need to get this shit back together. No, the Creeds were becoming the Creeds. Ivy, to my knowledge, is still undefeated. So it was like, why are you now being an uber asshole to your team? You know, so it's like, it's these things that are happening and it needs to just slow down and tell the stories of things and make it all make sense. And once that happens, NXT 2.0 will be fine.
Yeah, because the talent's there. The talent is definitely there. But and I think if I remember correctly, Diamond Mine was something that was created under Triple H's.
It was still
So, and I think that was something that was meant to make Roddy a potential top guy. But now he's kind of relegated to like this amalgamation of what Bivens was and what Roddy is technically supposed to be.
Yes.
So now he's kind of stuck in this weird limbo where it's like he's just now the director of Diamond Mine and not really the main attraction of the group. So yeah, I mean it's not like I'm hankering for a return to, you know, black and gold, because I mean we've already lost it.
Like I said, I'm completely fine with them wanting to keep it 2.0. Just tell the stories better. That's it. Because you have ideas out there and it's just ideas, and it's like it almost feels like you're leaving it up to the talent to figure it out. Like Nikita Lyons had this whole big thing. She got hurt, and now it's just, I remember that chick y'all was lusting over like 2 months ago. She's still here. You know, are y'all still lusting over her? You know, we don't know. You know, so it's just weird. But hopefully with Trips back on the job, hopefully it can start getting some more concise storytelling.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee that if Trips is back 100% or to some degree full on heading NXT, he's gonna get some of those people back that haven't debuted elsewhere.
Yeah.
Which I mean could be one of the reasons why a Gargano hasn't signed anywhere else. Same reason probably why a Bray Wyatt or Wyndham Rotunda hasn't signed anywhere else. A Karrion Kross, Scarlett Bordeaux, you know, good handful of people, and I watched a video on Mia Yim that she did. She was kind of recapping her time in NXT, and she even goes on to say that there's been no better place that she's worked than under Triple H's guard in NXT. So that was the best time of her working her professional wrestling career. And granted, she's in Impact right now, but I'm pretty sure if Trips and Steph is heading the majority of what's going on in WWE, she would be back at the drop of a dime, especially if they're going to run a Triple H locker room.
And see, and you were kind of saying something that kind of made me think about it too when you were talking with Mia Yim. Mm-hmm. There's only 2 people. Actually, sorry, 4. There's 4 people who I can see that can 5 by proxy that can work on the main roster. That's Carmelo with Trick,
yes,
and Toxic Attraction.
I was right before you said it. I was thinking, I was like, they could work.
Toxic Attraction and Carmelo with Trick are the only ones that I can see, because I can see a Braun Breaker going to the main roster and him being a flavor of the month type situation.
Yeah.
Where he'll get this push for like a month or 2, and then next thing you know, we don't know what to do with him, but here's Braun Breaker, you know.
Yeah. He does there. He's missing an edge to him.
You know what it is?
Because
you know what it is? Well, it's the Dominic Mysterio syndrome. Dominic Mysterio came in under his dad. He was getting all these high profile matches, and it was like, do we even know you can truly wrestle? Braun Breaker came in first episode, already the guy. In what, 5-6 matches, boom, he has the title.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you picked up on it pretty well, but can you be the guy? And, you know, not to diss Dominic and not to diss Braun, but they was just thrusted into the spotlight and kind of on a sink or swim type of situation.
Yeah, because it doesn't feel organic. Granted, they have, you know, the genes. You know, it's within the
it's in their genes,
you know, the whole lineage and everything, but nothing feels organic about what they're doing. I mean, so I definitely agree with that. I mean, I can't disagree with you on the fact of just saying a Carmelo Hayes with Trick Williams and a Toxic Attraction, because those seem to be the more complete acts at this point in time. So, yeah, I am inclined to agree with that shit.
Those are the only acts that I can truly see somewhat working on the main roster right now.
Okay, well, what about something that has worked for the main roster, but only because it's being forced, and that's a Brock Lesnar.
Good old Brock.
My thing with Brock, and that's the same thing with the whole Roman Reigns deal, because we've seen this match way too many times, and even more so. I didn't know. I don't. Did I see their last match? I don't think I saw their last match.
If you saw the last Botchamania that premiered earlier this week, I think this is the 17th match, technically, involving Roman and Brock.
Wait, was that the Botchamania that they featured the Money in the Bank women's ladder match?
It was either I think Botchamania 4, 5, 6 is the new one. 456. It was either 456 or 455 when they talked about the last man standing, and they mentioned it. And I think literally this match coming up, I think is match 17.
Oh, then I did see it. Yeah, I think it was like 5 days ago. Yeah,
Yeah,
I must
it's
have
like
missed that part.
this
Yeah,
is the seventh. I think this is like the 17th match between Brock and Roman since
and
2015. No, 2015, 2016. Since then up until now, this is like match 17 with them, whether it was in triple threats, one on one. This is like the 17th time they're doing this.
and the problem with that, because I know a lot of people will sit here and they'll be like, oh well, you had Cena and Orton go at it so many times, but the thing is, those matches didn't feel forced, like they were just like it was a last resort, like they're grasping at straws, like, hey, let's throw this together. The majority of matches with Reigns and Lesnar has been stuff that they've just diverted to, like as a, what, fuck it, we don't have anything else, let's do this. Fuck it, you need three WrestleMania main events, all right, we're gonna slot these guys in here. I don't even think Orton and Cena have main evented a WrestleMania together.
No,
So,
I don't think they've been
and
in a. I don't think they've been in a WrestleMania match together.
and see, and that's the
If I'm
thing,
thinking about it,
because and their rivalry makes
I'm gonna do a little bit of
so
research while we talk.
their rivalry makes so much sense. And they're trying to build up this Lesnar and Roman as like one of the greatest rivalries, and it's like it's on pay. When you think about it, just because they wrestled that many times doesn't make it a great rivalry. I mean, what has their story been that whole time? I think in the beginning it made sense, but ever since then it's just been like rinse and repeat with just Paul Heyman switching sides. And I mean, at least with John Cena and Randy Orton, you can actually go through and you can say, okay, they had this story, they had that story, they had this story, they had that story. And a lot of things made sense along the way, especially with the setup. You have somebody who is a third generation superstar, one of the youngest WWE champions, and then you have somebody who is basically of zero lineage, who basically worked his way up to the top. And now you have somebody who could be potentially a spoon-fed professional wrestler who's basically given everything, and one who had to work for everything. And them going back and forth, it writes itself, but they actually put the effort into making sure that everything made sense along the way. With what we have now, it's basically just like, hey, you're going to watch it anyway. So there you go.
Exactly.
And this latest one screams that automatically, because if you look at this card for SummerSlam, it's nothing but rematches.
You got the Usos versus the Prophets. You got Reigns versus Lesnar. You got Theory versus Lashley. Technically, Ronda versus Liv. Becky versus Bianca. The only new match right now is Pat McAfee and Happy Corbin.
Yeah, is
everything else is a rematch.
Is Logan Paul and Miz?
Oh, and Logan Paul and Miz.
Okay, so then you got two people.
And Happy Corbin and Pat McAfee are the only new matches.
So you got nobody from Judgment Day. You got no AJ Styles.
You
don't have
Triple H at WrestleMania 24.
Okay, so
yeah,
triple threat.
They had a triple threat. Now, depending on what happened Monday, because it's supposed to be Ray's 20th anniversary, and it seems like that might be when Edge returns.
Okay.
Because I don't know if they're going to pull the trigger of Dominic truly joining Judgment Day or not. But we could get maybe a Ray and Edge versus Judgment Day that could get shoot in to SummerSlam. But yeah.
Yeah, see, and that and again with this Lesnar thing, I mean, I think the the intrigue of Lesnar being here is pretty much over. I mean, there's really nothing much that he can or should do. It's like having Goldberg here. You know,
Yep.
it's it's time to slot somebody else in that position, and that's where a Bray Wyatt would have fit in. That's where right now a Gunther can fit in. Which, by the way, no Intercontinental Championship match on any pay per view as of late, which is fucking ridiculous. But I mean, you have too many. I mean, one, you have a Pat McAfee who's a commentator. You have a Logan Paul. Granted, yes, he is a signed wrestler, but at the end of the day, as of right now, because it's so early, he's still considered as an outsider in a way. And you have these people taking up spots for people that's been there. You know, like a Ricochet, like a Gunther, like a Finn Balor, like a AJ Styles, like a Dolph Ziggler, who they just keep starting and stopping with him, which is it's sad. But you know, where the fuck is
And now all of a sudden he's beefing with Theory.
with Theory? You know, then you got a Ciampa who's playing second fiddle to Miz. You got
Yeah.
a Bobby Roode who is MIA.
Am I?
So it's you have all these people who can play a lot of pieces to these puzzle and make things feel fresh, and you're not using them because you're too busy rinsing and repeating everything. And it's more so because of the setup that they have with these pay-per-views, because
Mm-hmm.
nobody's paying for this shit. So you're not paying, you basically get what you pay for. You know, you look at AEW where they're sitting there, they're setting up builds, they're putting shows together, making sure that you know every match makes sense on a show. If it doesn't, they're gonna lead up to it or put it on a different show
Yes.
because they know that if somebody pays upwards of $50-$60 for a pay-per-view, granted, however long
Mhm.
it is,
Yeah.
4 to 6 hours, they're gonna make sure that you actually get what you paid for. And WWE is not doing that anymore. And I think that they might need to get back to that.
So I
As
might
much
have
as I
been
love the
wrong.
network.
I might have been wrong with Reigns and Lesnar. I think they had
Mm,
19 matches.
19.
Yeah.
And I bet they're all pay-per-view matches. Nah, you know what? No, not all. I'm pretty sure some of them were on Raw or SmackDown.
I think they're all pay-per-view.
That's
In
trash.
between the Saudi shows and in between, I think they're all pay-per-view.
That's trash. Yeah. Um, they need to get this over with. They need to just say fuck, wait until Mania, get those belts off of Roman. You can easily build up Roman a different way without having those titles. There's a number of things you can do with Roman, especially if he's going to be a part timer. You can have the bloodline go in a different direction. Um, but as of right now, as far as the title picture, you can they cannot handcuff Roman. Will
Mm-hmm.
handcuff the title with Roman and Brock because they've done that too many times, and where Roman felt good in the first year and a half, maybe
Oh,
they
a quick update. My bad again. So I went to something else and look. This is their 8th fight. So this is 8. So one website had it wrong for some reason, but all of their fights have been
pay per
WrestleMania,
view.
SummerSlam, or but yeah, this is their 8th fight together. And
See,
not only that, but the high point of it all, they're 3-3 against each other.
like
They're 3-3 because Seth Rollins cashed in,
yeah,
so this would technically break their tie.
I look. Regardless of the fact, if Rome, well, because it's not AEW, so you can easily say it's going to be some type of fuck finish. But Roman's not losing that title.
I couldn't see
um,
him just losing it to Brock so randomly.
yeah.
Sorry.
Um, Yeah, they need to go ahead and just pull the trigger on it. I don't know. I mean, it's probably either going to be Cody or it's going to be Drew McIntyre. But if it goes on Drew McIntyre, I think they're going to end up splitting those belts up again.
I can see that. I can see Drew kind of being like, it's not fair for me to have both belts. I'm gonna give one back.
I don't think they do that.
Oh, okay.
I think what they might, and I could be watch you be right. I think what they might do, I think they might have Lesnar take Roman to the limit again, and then he gets so worried about losing that title that he says, "You know what? Nope, I'm only going to put up one title," and then end up losing that to McIntyre, and then I guess they may stretch it out to go to fucking Mania to have Cody win Royal Rumble and then go in to
finally dethrone Roman.
Yeah, which I mean it is what it is. It writes itself, but I mean it's already feeling like it's well overdue.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
I think you probably could have had a good argument, a good solid argument to put that title on Rollins.
Absolutely.
And
his
just had him
work has been just amazing.
Yeah.
Not saying that, you know, you need a title to have good character work, but the deservingness of it, like that man has been killing shit. And could you imagine that type of behavior he exudes as champion?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? Fuck it, because we can just go ahead and just jump right into this one too.
There you go. Let's get into it.
With Rollins being the character, because I mean he's been the flag bearer of WWE through and throughout, you know, going through the COVID era, through all the mass releases, through the inception of AEW, all of this. He's been there, and again, he deserves a credible title run. My thing is, and I know he's a Triple H guy, just like a lot of these guys are. Do we see, just like you put there in the title there, Scoot? Do we see any real change with all of this happening?
I want to say yes. The only thing, wait, Rollins hasn't been champion since 2019? World champion?
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
Because I think that was a title run where he had that abomination of a Hell in a Cell match with the Fiend.
Oh, yeah, and Fiend won it from him the next time they fought. You're right. Sheesh. But, okay, so in my hopes, okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and get the other elephant out the room. Why do people want WWE to be TV 14 so bad? Like, let's speak about change. Why does people want WWE to be TV 14 so bad? I mean, I don't think they're going to just start bleeding again. Like, it's not about to become Attitude Era 2.0 because we see what happened with NXT 2.0. So, do we want to take a gamble on Attitude Era 2.0? And let's face it, the product doesn't even fit an Attitude Era S situation. Like, I can't see the women going back doing Attitude Era type things. I don't see people just bleeding just for the hell of it. What, they might allow a little more cursing? Oh. Yeah. Cause like some of the memes, they were like, yeah, WWE becomes TV 14, he's gonna be Seth fucking Rollins now. Or they're gonna announce Bobby Lashley as that Bobby Lashley, you know.
Nah.
It's like not, it said TV 14, not TVMA. Like,
yeah, and that's the thing on that situation. Is like everybody's thinking it's going to change drastically, and it's not.
It's not at all.
What they have to, and you know what? Let me say, what you guys have to understand, because most of you guys that want the CB14 are the same guys that were around during the Attitude Era.
Yep.
For most of you, because I mean we were around too, but you know we understand the difference. The thing is, all TV14 did was allow the divas to be able to run around and have these mud matches, these evening gown matches, all this other shit. If you look at AEW right now, they still push the envelope on cursing. They still push the envelope on blood. You get all that same thing, and they're not TV14. And with that same thing, just like when when Scoop brought it up in our chat group, TV14, regardless of how you put it, does not fix bad creative.
No, it does not.
AEW does not have a TV14 rating, and it has way better creative. So you look at a WWE, they're going to basically be doing the same thing AEW is doing, and nothing's really going to change. Mm-hmm. And all you're going to do is see more of a vision that Laurinaitis had, which, I mean, at this point in time, with the publicly traded company that WWE is, they don't want that equality smoke. They don't want a whole bunch of progressives in their Twitter trying to tweet them about, hey, you did this, this is chauvinistic, and then lose all of their fucking sponsorships. You shouldn't even want a TV14 at this point. You should want them to just say, hey, let's do better creative. That's it. TV14 does not mean a fucking thing, especially at the time slot that it's in, because once 9 or 10 o'clock hits, you can get away with a lot of shit.
Yes.
Go watch any fucking show on the USA Network that comes on at 9 Central Time, like Suits. Suits was on at 9 Central Time, and they were saying shit, bullshit, horse shit, piece of shit, all on that show.
Well, no, I mean, if you take other networks, like if you go like FXX, they full-blown TVMA around 9 o'clock.
Yeah, like same thing, Comedy Central.
Anything goes.
Yeah. So as it does not matter. It does not matter at all.
Now, the other change, I hope so. I hope we can get a better product overall, because it will be, because the thing is, right, and you know, to go back to sports, well, I'm gonna say sports, to go back to like NFL and football, you know, WWE is kind of like that sports team that is right on the cusp of being good again. Like, you know, they were, I hate to call WWE this, but fuck it, I'm saying it. WWE is the Dallas Cowboys right now. They had their heyday in the 2000s. And yeah, as a proud Eagles fan, Bird Gang, fuck the Cowboys. But yeah, WWE is like the Cowboys. People remember the glory days of the Cowboys. And they have the potential of being in that glory again. But something just, it's something. That's what WWE is right now. They're the Dallas Cowboys in this sense.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. And maybe this whole situation could revitalize something, be that shot of adrenaline. Because the thing is, right, you can't live in a bubble like that and not see the competition, regardless if you view an AEW, Impact, New Japan, whatever. Regardless if you're not seeing them as competition, you still can't help but to look over there and see like, see that these people are having fun. Not to say that our guys aren't having fun, but see that they having fun in these other companies. Not only that, but they get to intermingle with each other. They get to do this. They get to do that. You know, seem like they kind of having some fun. And I'm not necessarily saying WWE is necessarily going to immediately, hey, y'all, we open to work with whoever. I'm just saying it's something missing. It's something that needs to happen that can bring that spark back. And maybe this could be it. Maybe it could be a situation where creative can write a storyline and the storyline could pan out rather than, oh, no, we're going to change this shit minutes before this was supposed to happen. Like, maybe that might not be a thing anymore. Like, maybe a person can naturally ascend with their talent and with the skill. Like, they won't have people chanting Rusev Day and thinking it's a joke.
Yeah.
You know, maybe things will naturally happen where it's like, yo, such and such is getting major, like the crowd is going crazy for such and such. Maybe we should try to see, let's see how this experiment works. Let's see if this man or woman can be put in the spotlight and see what happens. Rather than they getting cheers and that's about it. You know. So
you're not wrong. I'm going out. I want to say going out on a limb because I think it's already been put out there for this to work because the formula does work, and a lot of people it's gonna hit the light bulb because a lot of people didn't really notice this at first, but if you look at what AEW is doing right now, they're not the blueprint in what they're doing right now. Because if you look back at when up from the tail end of when NXT Black and Gold was running their last bit of shows on the WWE Network to the point to where they actually transitioned to network television. Triple H was the one that was pretty much doing all of that stuff. He granted he didn't do the post media scrum. He did post media calls after each of the takeovers. He was the one that was trying to branch out and work with other indie companies. He was trying to work with Japan. He was trying to branch out and do all this other stuff. He was setting up basically the future of what WWE could and should have been up at this point right now. So if in fact everything works out and he's given the reins to do what he was doing previously, I truly believe that change can happen because Triple H basically fostered a work environment where everybody wanted to push each other up, where there wasn't a, hey, I want to be the top. I mean, everybody want to be the top guy or top woman.
I mean, because like you're bringing it up. Think about what NXT's case. When NXT Black and Gold was really going through that heyday, almost at any point, you could have seen anybody become the guy.
Exactly.
There were times where it was like, damn, Cole could be the guy, Gargano could be the guy, Tommaso could be the guy, Velveteen Dream could be the guy, Finn could be the guy, Cross, Joe, Kyle O'Reilly, any of those dudes at one point who was with Black and Gold, Shinsuke. Think about it. Shinsuke, Bobby Roode, Drew Mac, all of these people been the guy, but then they cross over, then it's like you're just a guy.
and the whole just a guy.
I mean,
is
not
what's
to
going
cut
on now.
you off.
No, you're
Look
good.
at the stark difference. When Finn Balor went back to the main roster, he went from the Prince to the Popper. Let's go ahead and be real. Yeah, they tried to give him a little feud with Roman to try to give him some of his spark. But why couldn't he transfer what he was as the Prince to the main roster? why did he have to become smiley babyface again?
That full disconnect. And that's where the synergy was off, because and again, I really think that it was jealousy based on, it's like, you got Triple H who came up under Vince, and it's like, it's almost that, hey, you came up under us, you can't just turn around and then do better than us and everybody praising what you're doing and
Mm-hmm.
then expect us to just basically follow suit with what you're doing. It's like, no, we created you, we can create this better. And it slow, it was that slow decline. Well, sorry, that can't slow, the rapid decline, with the
Rapid.
Cross, with the Lee, and everybody with Hit Row.
Oh yeah, Hit
You
Row.
had,
Keith. I forgot about Keith Lee. All that. All those people were like you could see as the guy, and then next thing
yeah,
you know, it was like what? Like honestly, they were gift wrapped, carrying cross, and you turned them into some gladiator. Like what?
yeah. And, and and again, that's the thing. It's like there's Triple H had it right. He had the future in mind. He was setting up everything to make it easy for them to say, you know what, we got this, we got this. Anytime we're feeling like we're in a rut, now we can go ahead and just pull these guys up. And they were already ready. They were seasoned. They were prepared for the main event. And especially with Keith Lee, a guy like Keith Lee who goes into a Royal Rumble, gets the ovation that he got, comes in, and then they just shit the bed completely. I think if, again, if Triple H is given the reins, especially since now it's he's EVP and then talent relations as well.
Yeah,
So
I think it was those two positions.
he at that point he's there to foster the future. So I would say let him do his thing, let him dictate what's going to happen with them being ushered into the main roster. He doesn't have to control everything on the main roster, but
No.
at least carry over what he started, as opposed to just having them forget whatever the fuck they did and just trying to turn them into something else. So,
Mm-hmm.
but
And it won't look so weird.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I mean, and the bad part about it is that it almost like I mean, and this is coming from somebody now who's been following NXT for the better part of I'll say 6 years. It almost sucks to watch NXT
yeah,
because during that time of the heyday, you seen what they were doing in NXT, and then they came over to the main roster, and it was like honestly, Bo Dallas. It was like he was champion. What what parallel world had happened?
with
Like
the fantastic gimmick, one that worked,
Tyler Breeze.
a gimmick that worked, and then you
What
just
happened? Like you see these people who were like one thing and they just crossed the threshold and it just became somebody completely different. And it was like I kind of hate that I watch NXT because I'm seeing these people go from this to this.
yeah, it's again. I mean, it's like you said, completely gift wrapped, handed straight to him, and then just fumbled it. But
Fumble.
I mean, at this point, all we can do is hope for the best. I'm not going to sit here and say it's about to be a complete change. I'm not going to say that,
Yeah.
oh, everything is horrible, but there's a lot of questions that a lot of people have that need to be answered. Except for the TV 14 shit. That I'm pretty that's open and shut in my opinion. It's
Yeah.
not necessary. But
It's really not.
um, with the rumors and with the news that's going around, I'm just gonna hope for the best. I mean, I'm not gonna turn around and start watching WWE again religiously like I used to, because there's no point at right now. Because
that's what that got me for.
Exactly. And you will let, and I know I can trust your judgment. If you turn around and say, "Oh, this shit was fucking dope," I can turn around and be like, "Okay, well, let me go ahead and tune in." So, but I'm pretty sure in maybe like a week or two, we'll probably start seeing some differences, and you know, as far as what's going to end up happening, or the course they're going to end up taking. But I don't have any other opinions on that, Scoot. I don't know if you have anything, or if you got any final thoughts on the shit. until we check out what the fuck happens this weekend, because it's Death Before Dishonor.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. FTR and Briscoes 2.
7-star FTR, baby.
You got Serena Deeb and Mercedes Martinez, which I'm gonna rant about that shit probably tomorrow, because that's an issue that I have with how they've been treating that.
Gresham versus Claudio,
which I wish there was more build up for that,
right?
But again,
Jay Lethal and Samoa Joe.
Too much build up for this.
Too much.
It's just been too same, especially without Joe. I think that's why. What else do we have on the? Oh, we got Yuta and Garcia.
Yeah, Yuta and Garcia.
Pure Championship. There's a
Willow trio against somebody in a Willow was going like a pre-show, and it was with the Righteous versus somebody else. I forgot who it was.
Dalton Castle and the boys.
Yeah, Dalton Castle and the boys.
So, I'm looking forward to it. They haven't let me down yet. Ring of Honor shows are fantastic. I'm really looking forward to FTR and the Briscoes, because their first match was.
I'm trying to halfway listen to this rap battle, which I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. But
the Ass Boys.
Yeah, Austin literally just told Caster John Cena won his gimmick back.
We talked about this before. They're gonna end up being legit heels that win those titles at some point. So it's the same thing with Acclaim too, but the Acclaimed are made men at this point. Yeah. So, but Scoot, we're gonna let you get back to covering that shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get prepared to do some shit. I don't know yet. I gotta take care of this shit too. But anyway, other than that, we back, folks. Jaeger will be with us soon. Jugs is somewhere taking care of business, and he'll be around too. If you didn't know, after the championship series, I am the current reigning, defending, finally got my shit back, predictions championship. You know, I hope that the physical is somewhere. It's going to be here probably the next couple of videos, but regardless of the fact, it's back home. So I am your humble champ, but Scoot. So it's like we do all the time. Of course, you know where to find us. We got everything running in the crawl there.
Shout out to my ninjas Aranya and Boss.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Shout out to Jugs. Follow his shit. It's going to be in the description below. If you're on Twitch, along with following the ninjas, go ahead and hit up Planet Nico. Get your passport and go visit.
Family, all of that.
Everybody. Again, it's about to be a whole bunch of cohesion going on. So just be prepared for all of that. But
synergy.
With that said, whether you love the shit, hate the shit, don't forget to rate the shit, thumbs up, thumbs down. Leave all your comments, questions, concerns down below. Ladies, you ain't got to worry about leaving anything down here on this video unless you really desperately trying to get Jaeger's attention. But Most importantly, hit that notification bell to be updated on any time that we drop some new shit, especially when Scoot drops a fuck it, I'm saying it. But the most super important thing you can do is to tag that motherfucking subscribe button. And as always, until next time, until you hear these beautiful voices and hear this handsomely smooth like caramel and butter, honey voice and face, all of it, the aesthetics. We bid you all adieu. And until next time, you beautiful mother effers, tag the fucketh out.
Dollars make a way to make a change. Gotta be insane to make them same mistakes again. So I'm switching lane to lane. Pray the curb don't scrape.